Turning 50 opens up a whole new chapter for travel. But while the destinations might get more ambitious, the timeline for getting ready has to shift. This pie chart shows that 60% of over 60s travel with at least one chronic health condition. That means replacing the old habit of throwing things in a suitcase the night before with a structured preparation plan. The challenge is figuring out how to keep that feeling of a spontaneous, relaxing holiday without carrying the invisible baggage of logistical anxiety and health worries. The most effective approach is treating your trip prep like an investment. You front-load the administrative work at home to guarantee medical safety and total financial protection once you cross the border. To answer this, we are unpacking the definitive travel health checklist brought to you by the Best of Health, the UK's trusted resource for over 50s navigating healthcare and well-being decisions. Putting in this early work doesn't mean scaling back your travel ambitions. It builds the essential framework you need to explore the globe safely at this stage of life. The first required input on your checklist starts early. You need to book an appointment with your GP a full 6 to 8 weeks before your departure date. This meeting gives you 3 specific things: formal medical clearance to fly, to take out prescriptions, and updated vaccines. This table breaks down your vaccine options. NHS services are free but often come with a 2 to 3 week wait. If you are short on time, private clinics offer immediate access, but the trade-off is paying £20 to £50 per vaccine. Exactly which vaccines you need depends entirely on your destination. Use the NHS Fit for Travel and TravelHealthPro websites as your baseline guides to check the current requirements for where you are heading. Establishing this 8-week runway ensures you aren't caught without essential physical protections or required paperwork right before takeoff. Next is medication logistics. You need to pack double your usual supply, carry it exclusively in your hand luggage, and keep everything in its original labeled pharmacy packaging. You also need to carry a formal authorization letter from your GP. This protects you against strict foreign pharmacy restrictions and ensures you can replace medications if your checked luggage goes missing. This timeline demonstrates the physiological complexity of crossing time zones with sensitive drugs like insulin or anticoagulants. When flying east, your day is shorter, so you adapt to the new local time quickly. When flying west, your day is longer, requiring you to keep your original schedule longer or take an extra dose. You manage this by securing a written schedule from your GP before you leave, and then setting phone alarms for every single dose. Meticulous planning acts as an insurance policy for your body. It guarantees stable health and prevents panicked visits to foreign pharmacies. There is a strict distinction between baseline access to state healthcare and comprehensive emergency medical insurance. You need to handle both. First, apply for or renew a free UK Global Health Insurance Card, or GHIC. This grants you access to free or heavily subsidized state healthcare within the EU and EEA. But the GHIC has strict limitations. It entirely excludes private care and medical repatriation flights, making supplemental insurance absolutely mandatory. When sourcing specialist over-50s travel insurance, you must declare absolutely every pre-existing condition, even the well-controlled ones. Leaving anything out will invalidate your entire policy. This financial scorecard highlights why coverage limits matter. Accurately declaring your health status to your GP is vital to securing travel insurance with pre-existing conditions, and you must insist on policies offering a minimum of £10 million in medical cover, as an air ambulance alone can cost up to £100,000. The trade-off for this security is financial. Expect to accept a 10 to 50% premium loading on your base policy, or a flat £30 to £50 surcharge per declared condition. Complete honesty and paying these upfront premium surcharges creates the ultimate financial firewall against catastrophic, life-altering medical debt. The physical journey carries its own risks. Sitting still for long periods raises your chance of deep vein thrombosis, and that risk climbs sharply for travelers over 50. You can prevent this with 2 specific inputs: buy a pair of below-knee compression socks and actively walk the cabin every 30 minutes. These actions yield a 30% reduction in clot risk, provided you maintain strict hydration discipline, drinking 250 milliliters of water hourly while limiting alcohol. Once you arrive, prevention shifts to your daily environment. Older skin becomes increasingly sensitive and requires rigorous protection from severe sun exposure. The requirements are straightforward: Apply a broad-spectrum SPF 30 to 50 plus sunscreen and actively stay out of direct sunlight between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. You also have to manage food and water safety. Travelers' diarrhea hits over-50s harder because dehydration happens much faster. Pack a sensible first aid kit containing loperamide, oral rehydration sachets, and antihistamines. Combine that with the daily discipline of sticking strictly to bottled water in higher risk areas. Adhering to these minor daily disciplines ensures a stomach upset or a sunburn doesn't escalate into a vacation-ruining emergency. Following this rigorous checklist simply exchanges administrative effort at home for total empowerment and confidence abroad. The weight of these requirements shifts depending on where you are going, starting with the short-haul EU weekender. For a quick trip to Europe, your absolute priority must be checking your GHIC expiry date and securing your baseline comprehensive insurance. If your profile is the long-haul adventurer traveling outside of Europe, the logistics demand a different focus. Long-haul travel requires you to strictly map your medication across time zones with your GP and ensure total compliance with TravelHealthPro vaccine recommendations. For a printable version of this checklist, and for more guides on choosing the right travel insurance and managing health conditions abroad, visit The Best of Health at thebestofhealth.co.uk to make confident health decisions after 50. The desire for adventure does not expire at 50. It simply requires smarter investments